All right. Good evening. Today we will be continuing on our sweet hardcore code camp, and we have just gone over. Well, in the previous session, we went over jQuery, sweet jQuery, and some of the basic and most important functions, and well, functions and selectors, how selectors work, how functions work, and we practice some of the most useful ones. And you guys are good with that, correct? Yes. All right. So and then we went over something which we kind of take for granted when we program and when we do things, but it's very important to understand the flow of things, which are event handlers and associated events and functions. So basically, what it is, there are such things called event handlers in the DOM on the web page, JavaScript or in other languages, saying that, hey, I am waiting for a certain event. For example, we're going to use the onClick one. Whenever anyone clicks, do this. So on the onClick event, run this code here. And this is the pop-up function, which is down here. So just alert something. On the onClick event of this button here, and that button is right here. On that click event, do the hide class function or the show, or show the text box value, which gets the value of a text box, and if it has a value, display it. Okay. Uh, that is legit. We're good with event handlers, yes. So one more thing that we kind of forgot, that is the heart and soul. Well, first, the main lecture for today is going to be about CSS. But we forgot the most important thing about jQuery and JavaScript and the DOM and web pages and programming, pretty much. And it's a good thing that I started recording. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna give you some good knowledge here, and I'm gonna have to ask you to take it on faith. Like I have to ask you sometimes, like NBC, and that's how it works. So for now, just take it on faith, and that's cool, and that's how it works. Okay. Let me give you a little bit of history, or not history, just how HTML works. And I'm going to ask you questions here because it's very important. When you load a page, okay, well, before we continue, both of you are on alert 100%, right? Because this is important. Yes,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. This will trip you up and it will crush you if you don't pay attention here. It will crush you and waste a lot of time. Okay. Um, when you load, let's go to any web page here. Like here, we're going to click on David Yip, click on Hardcore Camp, click on Daniel, click on jQuery HTML, anything. Let's go to download or anything.
If
Yes.
you're clicking on stuff, all I'm seeing is the Windows screen.
Oh no, I'm clicking. I'm clicking like it's 1999. So let me reload. Oh, okay, you're not. Hmm. Let's see. Let me reshare my screen. I've been, yeah. Aha! I think my Discord is acting up here. Hold on. Okay, can you guys hear me? Yes? Mm. Okay. I think my, yeah, Discord crashed, so let's just restart it. For those at home playing, Welcome to technology. This is how we do. This is how we do.
Into yourself. They can
I
still
I
hear you.
was that?
Weird. Oh, I was just saying, it's like, when you're talking on the phone, it used to happen all the time. Like, you'd be talking and talking, and suddenly you'd realize the other person's no longer on the line.
No, no, yeah. So,
But then they are, and they still hear you. You just can't hear anything they're saying.
well, that's weird. So let me see. Yeah, I think my Discord crashed. Can you guys see me now?
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, good, good.
Yes.
So now let's move on to the important stuff here. Man, I forgot my water. In a little bit, gotta get some of that water. But anyway, for now, okay. So again, when we click on things, they load, right? Like you see it, everything gets retrieved and it gets rendered. All the HTML on the page gets rendered, right? Beautiful. And I know I keep repeating it, but it's important for you to understand it and accept it. That when I click on something, I'm downloading all the content for this page, and all the HTML is getting rendered on the page, right? Now, let me ask you a question. When I click on something, how do you think that the web page is getting rendered? Like, what happens?
Uh, That's a very generous question.
It is, it is.
You
Well,
mean,
that,
like, what
yeah.
is the browser doing with it? 'Cause
Sure. Yeah, what is the browser doing with it? Yes. Let's say you have this web page here, and I've got it. I did a get to get this web page here, and I got all this HTML and all this stuff here. Um, how do you think it gets rendered? What shows up first, in your opinion? Well, let me ask you the question. So let's not waste too much time here, because that question doesn't really have an answer, or if it does, it's kind of weird and complicated, and we don't need it right now. But does it all get rendered at the same time?
no,
No. No, correct. Okay, good, good, good. So you guys understand that it renders in parts. It renders like this part goes first, then this, and then maybe this, and then probably this over here, and then the footer somewhere, right? And then it'll finishes loading. Beautiful, right? And that is how it is. In reality, that is how it is. It loads in parts. So it's kind of like a queue. It loads in an order. So all of it is not loaded at the same time. It's loaded one after another after another. Okay, so that is good. And so let's write that, because it's very important for us to remember. Okay. Page loads in parts, sort of line by line, right? I mean, that's a little lie, but yeah, sort of in parts, right? And then once it's done, then you can mess around and do stuff in it, right? But have you ever seen when you click on, or when you go to certain pages, how sometimes some parts render, and then the next part renders, and then the next part renders? Have you ever seen that?
it's one of the things that I hate most about the internet. Actually,
Okay,
it's so
no.
frustrating sometimes.
Yes, yes. So you guys have noticed it.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's very good. That's very good. Um, so that is the behavior of it, and that's cool. That is cool that you guys notice that. Yeah. So it happens sort of line by line, and damn it, I had a really good segue there, but I lost it. So anyway, yes. So it all doesn't happen in at the same time. Okay, beautiful. So let's say, for example, that you have some code that um, you want to execute when let's say all inputs are, or just all checkboxes are rendered on the page, or when everything is rendered on the page. Um, but you're triggering it, you're handling it when there are, some checkboxes on the page or something. Okay. Um, actually, sorry, that's a really bad example. Let me create a better example here for you. Okay. Let's make believe that you guys remember our edit page here. Okay. Uh, I'm kind of going around on this, but it's very important for you guys to understand the concept and make it solid. Okay, beautiful.
By the way,
Yeah.
you do not have the latest version.
Oh, I don't? Oh, crap. All right.
This will work. It works.
All right. I need to get it, and I will get it. I will definitely get it. Okay, so edit character here. Lep. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when I click here, it happens very fast because it's a very small form. But again, let's say that when the page is loading, let's say that this loads, this loads, this loads, and this loads, right? They load one after the other, since it all doesn't load at the same time or simultaneously, right? Okay. Now, and this happens all the time, by the way. Let's say that you had to do something, you have some script or some JavaScript function that when the page loads, you're gonna take the name of the character, and I mean, you're gonna take the level of the character of this here, and you're gonna add some kind of a title to the name. Okay.
Based on the level.
Based on the level, yes. So let me ask you a question now. So run it through. Well, let's run it together. So the page starts loading. Name of the character. Okay. Thing. And thing is level 1. So let's say that he's a noob. So it's going to be the noob thing, correct? But once we're here, will this exist on the page? Ah, once I render this, let's say I render this input here, right? Remember, this is happening very fast. Let's say the input renders, and I want to create, I want to add a title to this based on the level, on the level, whatever level it is, right? Okay. So the page loads. The first thing happens, right?
Oh,
And
so
yeah,
it's gonna add to the name or whatever.
yeah. So I want to add to the name. So basically, when it loads, I want to add to the name a title. I'm just going to title. So the title is going to be based on the level. The higher the level, the better the title. Okay, so far so good.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm doing this. I want to do this when the page loads. So currently, our understanding of the page is that it loads. And again, I'm sorry to have to do this to you, but this is very important. When the page loads, it doesn't load all at the same time. It loads in kind of, in order, let's say. So this will load first. And let's say that my function adds the title based on the level. So when I am here and I try to get a level so I could add a title, what's wrong here? Remember, I'm rendering the page. Well, does level exist once the first time when this gets rendered?
Not at that time.
Exactly, exactly. That is what I'm asking. Sorry. I know it's a little bit weird to understand, but at that time it does not exist because the page has not fully loaded. The whole page does not exist as we know it. It's not solid. Because let's say that a page, let's say it's kind of a liquid thing or kind of a soft thing, and it doesn't harden until the whole thing is loaded. Does that make sense? That analogy?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So we want it hard. You guys like it hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not malleable.
No? Okay. Yeah. No, we want it hard. We want it to be done. Yeah. Definitely hard, not soft. So we want the whole thing to be loaded. Okay. So again, I get here and I want to use the level to get, to add a title here. So if I try to get the level in some function when it's loading, what will happen? I'm trying to get the level now. What will the computer tell me, or what you think the computer will tell me, or what do you think is wrong here? Well, first of all, what do you?
As far as the web page is concerned, we have to wait until the level is filled before we can,
Exactly, until the level is rendered. So my question,
posting it in.
well, even then, yeah, yeah, but yes, I hear you. But so the answer to my question is that this doesn't exist at the time, correct? Because it is not rendered, right? So, oh, I kind of skipped over that as well. When I'm using the word rendered, and you guys, I haven't really explained what it is. Okay, so there you go. All right, so remember that a web page, well, I think this is the right time and place to go over this. Have you guys ever, well, the correct terminology for when a page loads is called rendering, just like a picture or just like any 3D model. You done some kind of 3D modeling or something, right, Dan? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you process, you draw some stuff and then you render it, and it's actually making it, making it into an image or something, or making the model into the format that you want. Correct. That is the same thing with the page. So rendering equals loading the page. So from now on, whenever I use the term rendering, or you hear the word rendering with a web page, it means that it's loading. So a fully rendered page means a fully loaded page. Okay.
Oh yeah, fully loaded.
Fully loaded. Hey, just how we like it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh man, that's good. That was good. So it's a hardened page, fully loaded page. Oh Jesus. Um, okay, so we're good with that. I know I'm going kind of around here, but it's important to get this example. I think. Where's our page here? Yes. So yeah, so it's gonna, let's say the page starts rendering, it renders this, and let's make believe that at this point, because it renders kind of randomly, right? All the things on the page they're not gonna be rendered at the same time. They're gonna be rendered, at different times. So let's say that when I want to add a title to this input box, to this text box. In order to do that, I need the information from the level box. But that hasn't rendered yet. So that's going to crash. I say like, hey man, it didn't work because the control that I was trying to get doesn't even exist. So we're shit out of luck. Okay. The same thing. If you wanted to do something to barbarian and say like what kind of barbarian based on the race, so like dragon barbarian based on the race, and this gets rendered, and then you try to get information of what kind of race it is, and it hasn't rendered, so shit, we're shit out of luck. It don't work. So what I want you to what I want you to get from here, the um, important idea is that page does not render at the same time. Let's see. Web pages do not render at the same time. Well, most of the time anyway. There are ways around it. Okay. All right. So I really, again, I could have just said, hey, pages don't render at the same time. Stuff on the web pages. But it's better for me to plant the seed and kind of have you better understand why and how, and give you some better examples, I think. Because this will happen to you, and I have wasted endless hours trying to figure out why something is happening or why not something is happening, why something is not happening, and what am I doing wrong? And I have, again, I'm not even kidding. I've wasted a lot of fucking hours messing around with this. When it finally hits me, shit, the value I'm trying to get when I'm loading the page doesn't exist at the time. So of course it's not gonna fucking get it because it's not rendered. Okay. So now that you know that things are not rendered, let's say that you want to do things only when things are rendered, when the page is fully rendered. And that is usually what you want to do. Whenever you do any kind of JavaScript, especially with, you want to associate any kind of jQuery events, or, I mean, that's kind of advanced jQuery, like associating things, which we'll do next. Let's see. Yeah, we kind of skipped one of the events, but we will get there. Let's see, so we don't forget here. Advanced coupling. Okay. Right here. Yeah. So now I think we spent a lot of time here. You guys get this. I'm not gonna spend too much time here. So where's the jQuery at? Anybody see jQuery?
In the JavaScript, it's the second one down.
Oh, right here, my man. Okay. There you go. Learn this, carve it in your, well, anywhere you want. If get a tattoo, do anything you want. Okay. But memorize this, burn this into your minds. Okay. The function is called document.ready. Okay. And we're going to use that right now. Okay, so, and this is our script here, right? A script function. Okay. Let's just do it at the beginning here. Sure. Okay. This is your bread and butter with jQuery. This is, you're gonna need this pretty much every time you're gonna be messing around with things. And this is one of the first, this is the first questions they're gonna ask you at an interview when dealing with jQuery. Hey, how do I make it so my jQuery registers or handles things when the page is fully loaded? Because when HTML and JavaScript was, it was young and it was starting out, one of the biggest nightmares that people had was doing things or making sure that things happened in loading when the page was fully loaded. We don't really see that now as much because we have a different ways of checking, but just imagine that we did not have any kind of control over how things loaded, and or it was much harder to tell when things were loaded and when our function we're gonna get called. Okay, just imagine that, at least for now. Okay, so there is this function. It's called hey document dot ready, and it's a jQuery function here. This says, hey, listen, 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 Linda, Linda, listen. It says, hey, do whatever is in here and attach any kind of event, handler or anything. Do it when the page is loaded. Okay, so let me give you the perfect example. Okay, alert, hello. All right.
Can we, is it trivial to tell how long it took to load the page?
No, it's very easy. Guess how I can do it. If you had one guess, how would you think you could do it?
Oh, I meant in the button, but
Oh, which button? Here?
the hello alert, yeah.
It's probably some kind of test or something, but that's not usually how it's done.
I just mean because that way, as soon as the page loads, it'll be like, oh, hey.
Yeah, I think there is it. One of the timers is probably good for it. But it's ready, then just pop up the timer or something. I think there's some kind of built-in function to do it. I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, but no. So especially with jQuery, I'm pretty sure you could get the object and say, hey, how long did it take? But normally, if you want to see how long a page took to load, just F12. And you see network here? This tells you everything that your web page is doing. Like, and where is getting it from, how long did it take to get each one, like each call, each image. So we have all these things here, so I'm going to reload. There you go. Oh, sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing there. There you go. So we went to these roster here. And let's see, in order to get this, you got some kind of image here. You got this script, and the document, the roster. There you go. This is the document we got here. It took 48 milliseconds. And the rest took like 100 milliseconds. So it's pretty quick. It loaded in 360 milliseconds. But yeah, that's just, you could tell how long, and everything that loads in the page, you could tell by network to see basically what is going across the network. That's what it's saying. Yeah, so you don't want these files to be too big because they take too long. Okay. And this is something that we will go over again another time. Okay, so yeah, we have a function that says, hey, when the whole page loads, then say hello. Okay, and I'm gonna, let's see, I want to do that. Let's see, and this is Dan's, I think, right?
This is not my page.
No, I mean here.
Oh, yeah, there you
go. All right, and where do we go? This is Dan roster, document function ready, hello. All right, did I save it? I think I did. I think I forgot something though. Let's see, Dan. That is weird. This is really odd. I think I'm forgetting some kind of dumb mistake or something, but yes. It's not defined. Okay. Console, Dan's roster 177. Aha! Look at that. So there's some kind of error here. Good. Uh,
Is it a missing bracket
oh, I'm an idiot
or a missing
because
parenthesis?
yeah, I'm kind of an idiot because I took out some stuff from the beginning and I did not put it back. All right. Yeah, yeah. Let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. I think this is right here. All right. So for now, let's just say this is fine. And let me see if this works here. Do you guys see how it told me or helped me out? What was the error? What was the problem? The problem I think is that I left one of these things um, on match. I think. At least I like to think so. I don't know. Uh, yeah. Well, let's see. And let's see. Remember, we always check. Oh, I think it is the same error here. It's not defined. That is really weird. Did we not have this here? Yeah, we got dollar sign, unless it's using some kind of weird dollar sign here. This is strange.
The P, you have a D in the dot click.
Is it? Alright, let me see.
Yes.
So if you click me, it will disappear. Alright. I mean, this is the correct thing here, which is weird. Function. Yeah, no, that should work here. Give me 1 second. I think I'm just forgetting something very, very, very silly. Because I've used this example many, many times. And all right. Yeah, that is weird. Why is the D there?
Yeah.
Supposed to be a P, right?
Yeah, it is. But well, let me just recut it and put it back. All right. Well, first of all, let's see if that gives us an error. Okay, we're good. Okay. Aha! That is freaking weird. Oh, it's saying that the dollar is not defined, but we're using it already, no? Yeah. Using it here. And it is the same dollar sign, right? That is really, really strange.
Look down below.
Yes. Right here.
Those dollars are all within a function.
Yeah, yeah.
Ours is not.
That is weird. No, I think that shouldn't have anything to do with it. At least
I
hope
tried doing
not.
the document ready stuff from the W3 pages. I couldn't get it to work either. Like, I don't know what their format is. But
Yeah, it's
something
really.
about it
Yeah.
compatible.
I think I sort of remember what it is, but it's fine. Let's keep going, moving forward. Just
Anything that we need to do, or is it just?
I think it's how it's working with our pages because remember, sometimes it acts a little squarely with because remember we're using a layout. We're not using a straight up page like they are. So sometimes,
You can get rid of the layout if you want.
yeah, well, that will take more time than it's worth. But I'll fix this next time because this is not really going to run at the right time because the layout, the top is gonna run first. In fact,
Is the layout visible to the rest of the page?
oh yeah, we're right here.
No, I mean like in the background processes. Does the layout get factored in when you say is the document ready?
Oh yes, yeah. Oh yes, it does. So let me just play around with this. I think what's happening is just getting confused with the layout. I remember it happening a few times before. Let's see. So what I'm gonna do here. this, click here. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and I'm gonna, and again, this is good practice anyway. So this is problem solving here. All right, so we got a script, flip, 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 flip. We don't have it on the other page anymore, right? Okay, let's take it away. Let's comment it out for now. Okay, and then I am gonna reload. Sources console. Now then roster. That is really weird. I'll figure it out later. We don't want to get hung up here though. Let's continue. So what I want you to get from here is that you have a function that loads everything or does things when it's fully loaded. We will go back and revisit this and test it out with normal pages, or I'm pretty sure there's some stupid stuff that I forgot because again, do you guys see how it works here? At least let me show you the example here. I'm gonna take all of this away here, and when the document is ready, I'm gonna say hello and run it. There you go. Do you guys see it? Okay, good. I'm gonna run it again. Page loaded. When it loaded, when it was ready, everything was loaded. When everything was loaded on the page, you got the alert hello. Now, let me ask you a question. So you understand now that when this is loaded, when only the page is fully loaded, then this will pop up. Yes? Yes, right? Beautiful. Now, this is the most important question here. What happens if I take this away? And I hit this.
What did you take away?
I took out the
It's going to make an alert.
The function that that waits and executes things when the page is fully loaded. If I take that away, let's see what's going to happen. Okay, gonna run it.
It's going to load, is it?
Oh no, it will load. It will load. So tell me what the main difference is.
We don't have control of when it loads.
God damn it! That is right. That is right. So it can load at any time. It's random, right? The loading time or when it's called could be based on, let's say you have 10 images on your page, correct? And you're getting those 10 images from different places, and the load time of those images, let's say normally is 1 second, but sometimes there's a chance of a few images, their ISP provider is slow. So what will happen then? Then those images are going to be slow. Correct? And then, so we have no control. We don't know. Sometimes some things are going to load faster than others just because that's how the internet works. Things are slow sometimes. And, we have no control over it. But with that function, we have a little bit more control over it. Again, I want you to tattoo it, remember it. This is one of the most important things that you can know about jQuery. This is the single most important thing that you need to know about jQuery. And when you go into a job interview, and this is a guaranteed question that they will, that they will ask you. They say like, hey, in jQuery, or how can I ensure that my functions happen at the right time or get called at the right time? I want it to happen when the whole page is rendered before I want to do any of my functions. So what can I do? Remember, just dot ready. What is it? Give me a dot ready. You guys are not giving me a dot ready. Say dot ready. Let's do this.
Dot ready.
Dot ready. Don't forget about that dot ready. Dot ready is very important because if you ain't ready, then we ain't right. We ain't getting paid if we're not ready, and you gotta be ready with jQuery. Oh, that rhymed a little bit too. Be ready with jQuery. Yeah, use any mnemonic you want. It is all good. Let's see. Okay, so are we ready with jQuery? Yes. And again, I know for a fact that that question will be asked. So it's, make it second nature, make it yours. And that took a long time, like much longer than I thought it was, but not really because I didn't have any kind of expectation as time, because understanding is much more important than rushing through things, especially in computer science and learning. And understanding that is when you guys are so much farther ahead than any kind of other code camp and any kind of anything else, because you guys have understanding or better understanding. We're not just regurgitating links or some kind of curriculum. We are getting both, understanding while getting some notes and stuff. And okay, all right. Let's see. Let's move on to CSS. But before we move on to CSS, I think let's take a few minutes because I need to get some water, and it's hot as hell here. Do you guys need a water break?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Something quick.
Okay, I'm gonna get a water break.
I also
Water.
have some code that is functionally the same. It's like all the exact same characters, but it's formatted differently, and apparently it's supposed to work.
Okay, all right,
So our broken thing.
all right. Let's give it a check. We're over here. Yeah. I will be right back. Are you using the shortcut?
No, I'm not.
All right. Well,
The shorthand is weird.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't understand it.
I don't like the shorthand. I like this one. But I'll be back in a minute. Yep. Man, that water was legit. Whew, wee. All right. Did you guys hear me?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I don't have any fans here turned on, so, or any air conditioning, so I'm out here chilling. Well, not chilling. I'm fucking burning up. Oh yeah. But this is good though. This is good. I like it. Gotta sweat it out. Gotta sweat out the suck. Nah, it's actually not that bad here. Okay, are we back? Is Dan back?
I'm back.
A little Danny Dan. All right, so should I try this? Oops. Damn it. All right. Let me just see if this works here. Could be.
So sorry, I just realized
But,
after I pasted it that it might not actually be the exact same code because it was from some dude's Stack Exchange. But
Oh no, no. I mean, we have the syntax fine. It's just yeah, we'll figure it out later. No worries. I'm pretty sure it's some dumb that I did or I'm forgetting. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so Dan, are you back?
mm-hmm.
Okay, and Dave, you're back.
Yes.
Okay, so hmm.
I did post a link because it's a little interesting to see what they're talking about. The one dude writes it out in a way that kind of illustrates how it all works.
All right. I mean, we'll give him a check later though. Gotta move on for now. Gotta move it. Let's see. Blip blip. Yeah, I think it's some kind of weird stuff that we're having some kind of conflict. But we'll give him a little peek later. Okay, so moving on. How much time do we have? We have a little time, right? We have enough time. Well, we have enough time at least to because we started a little bit late. We have a little bit of time to. Okay, so what is CSS? Talk to me about CSS. What is it? Whose is it? What's up? What's happening with CSS? Give me the goods.
Cascading style sheet.
Okay, cascading style sheets. And what does that mean? What is it?
You set a style for a specific element and it goes to every element of that type of element. Let's say, for example, you want to style a
God
P
damn.
and it style all the P in that web page.
Wow, you got that advanced stuff. Okay, that gourmet shit. All right, but let's go back to the basics. Remember the basics. So cascading style sheets is just CSS. It's a way to style HTML. Right? That is the most basic idea and what it is. It's a way. Yeah. So it's a language. It's a way language. Um, yeah, to style HTML. And again, yeah, it's like you just said. So as Dave said, it targets elements, elements, and styles them. Well, the styles affects them. When I say the word style, don't get hung up on the word style because I really shouldn't be using the word style. But let's say that it affects that element. Okay, most of the time we're gonna be doing styling. Don't get confused in that. But CSS can be used for other things. Um, yeah, it could be used for other things, especially when it comes to printing and affecting certain areas of a page. Is that cool? Yeah. Okay, great. Affects, it targets elements and styles. Okay, so it targets elements and styles affects them. Or areas of a page. Okay, so we have enough time to perhaps do it a little bit of justice. Okay. There are three ways to do CSS with HTML. Okay. Step one, let's cut a hole in the box as usual. Gotta throw that in there. Right? Okay, so step one. Anybody have a guess on what is one way that we can use CSS?
A good way?
A what? I'm sorry.
A good way?
Okay. Well, no, that is sort of correct. That would be the third way, but yes. So the first way we can use it is a straight into an element. And when we say using it, we mean styling or affecting an element. into an element
I
itself.
think I get what you're saying. So yeah, you can put it
So let's say,
CSS directly into whatever our form or our paragraph
yes.
versus
Hello.
defining it, declaring it at the head, and
Don't get it. Yes, exactly.
okay.
That is correct. Yes, yeah. So it's very important that we go through all three. Um,
Okay.
yes. So straight into an element. All right. Um, yeah. So straight into an element. And slash div. Okay. The way we do that is by using the keyword style. Then we write whatever style we want. So for example, let's say just font equals black or well red. Okay. This is called inline CSS. Say it with me. Inline.
CSS.
Inline CSS or inline styling.
I did a little bit of that when I made the images for the pages we did.
Exactly. So let's go check it out. Let's see, do we see any inline here? Let's see. There you go, look at that. Do you see this? See, it says style, and then it says right here. So what style or what part of this element are you trying to change here or mess around with or affect? Exactly, the background image, right? So it's the background image and you gave it some kind of URL. Okay, so yeah, so you're doing an inline style here. And this is legit. This is legit. Okay. Right here. So inline for you, it's legit, right? Okay. You guys good with inline? I mean, it is pretty straightforward. One thing that I need you to do is guess what? Guess what I'm about to say. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Exactly. Yes. Study on your own all the actual CSS tags because there's tons of them, right? Depending on how you want to style your page, you have to say, hey, how do I change the background? You know, but I'm giving you the opportunity or the means to know that it could be done, but you yourself have to go and hustle to where jQuery, well, W3 Schools, and hustle it up. How do you change the color? Color. How do you change the text alignment? Hey, you use text alignment. How do you change the background color? You use background color. So all of these are keywords that you can use to change things of an element. Is that solid? From 1 to 10, that should be a 10, right?
Yeah.
Good. Good. And you guys are in luck. You guys are super duper in luck. Because let's say that I have this div, right? This Dan roster div right here. Okay. And let's say I want to add a style to it, right? I mean the style. Okay, here. Now, wonder what kind of styles they have here. Let's see. So I got style. Let's see. And you could type stuff. Oh, I just typed anything, and did you see all the stuff that showed up? Let's see. So you have intelligence here. There's like, hey, background color. Let's see some other interesting things. Background color, background origin, background size, border. So you have a plethora of things that you can mess around with. So IntelliSense helps you a lot, right? So let's just say background color. And also, I mean, you guys can use your imagination somewhat, right? To see maybe something that you're messing around with or something. I don't know. Background color, red.
Just watch out how that formatted weird.
Yes, it did. It did. Yeah, I did think we lost something along the way. Background. Back. Oh, no wonder. Yes. Yeah, I'm over here. It's like, what the hell? The background color, I think is still weird, but okay. Red. I don't know if this is gonna work. But you guys get the idea here that we can do an inline sort of. Mm, can we even see our background color? Oh, there it is. Look at that. That's kind of nutty here, but this is the div, and I gave it a background color of red. I could give it an image if I wanted to make it cooler, like you see Dan did here. Okay, so again, I can pretty much just change anything having to do with the div here. Um, I mean, that is again pretty straightforward. And what is that called?
Styling?
Yeah, it's styled CSS and it's called inline.
My bad.
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, I don't remember it. I just actually sort of. Font. I wonder if there's something called font size. There you go, font size. Let's say like 18 or something. I have no clue. I think it's the right pixels, but we'll see. I don't think that even affected because I think it has to be the correct font size. And it says font size, and that's not going to work. All right. But let's keep moving. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's not a valid. You see, it helps you out. So I wonder what would be a good 18 pix. Pixels is the usual measurement, by the way, for size. No! So, yeah, so pixels is the usual measurement in CSS. So each font is yeah. So you can see. So this is pretty big, right? The Barbarian. This is nice though. I like the look. Like boop, 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 like super duper. So that was yeah, that was too big. There you go. That's better. All right. But again, you guys get the idea. Inline. Okay. Make sense? Yes? Beautiful. Then moving on. I know it's 10:27, and we're gonna do a little bit of you know, we're good. We're good. We're not gonna take too long. Okay, number 2. The rest are kind of easier. Okay, what was the other one that you mentioned, Dan? What does it say 3, I wonder? It's 2. Wait, the fluck?
I think I skipped ahead. I mentioned putting it in the head of the document, setting everything up.
This, well, yeah, that is number, that's 2.
Oh.
Yeah. In the header. Or doc itself. Oh, or HTML. HTML itself. In the what is it? Style? I think it's the style tag. Okay. It's like, it's sort of, you know how when we do script, when we need to use JavaScript, we need the script tag. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to do the same thing if you're going to do CSS in the page itself. But instead of a script tag, you need a style tag, like the script tag. Okay. So, well, before we get ahead of ourselves and we go on, we haven't really taken a look at what CSS is. Let's take a couple of minutes to do that. Okay. So, as I said before, CSS is a language to affect and style elements on a web page. And the way it works is you have a selector, kind of like JavaScript. I mean, kind of like jQuery. And then you have these brackets here, and then what you want to affect, how you want to change that selector. Like basically, what styles you want to apply to that selector. Okay, so again, this is exactly how it works. It's a selector and what you want to apply to the selector with these parentheses. I mean, not parentheses, these brackets. Okay. Again, it is that simple. It's not difficult. That's all it is. Selector, what you want to apply to that selector. Easy. Okay, now, do you guys remember what the selectors were? Or the jQuery selectors, as the main two that we use?
ID selector.
Okay, beautiful. CSS has the same selectors for those type of things. So ID is £. So if I have anything like what was it, the ID? It would be, if I wanted to target the ID for roster or name or something, right? It would be name. Okay. Or the div roster would be roster. Okay. And what is the one for class?
Dot.
Yep, dot. This is class. Okay. Let's see. So now we haven't explained what a class, CSS class is. So I will do that now. Okay, so class here. So class selector. Dot name. And really, okay, right here. Let me see your lines. Let me see if they have anything here. I don't think they have places here. Let me see if they have it here. They have to class or not. There we go. Yeah, we don't want to get too deep in there though. Alright, now that's fine. Alright, give me 1 second because I don't know, I don't think I have enough time to get in there. But anyway, okay. So again, selector and all these things here. Alright. Let's see. All right. Now, what did I say that we need? We need the style tag here. I think it's the style tag. Sorry, it's hot here. So do you guys see when we do JavaScript here? We need the script tag, and we could put all sorts of JavaScript stuff in here. Okay. we need something similar to do CSS on this page. Okay, so let's say, so remember, any style that goes in here is gonna apply to this page only. Are you guys good with that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say, like I said before, we have this thing here. So hey, body. So let's say that I want to apply a style. Background color equals red. Okay, let's see if that works. I don't know if that's gonna work. I hope it works. But let's see. I think it might not work because we're already using an image, but we'll see. Oh, there it is. Oh wow.
Wow.
It has the image and
Pattern kept, yeah.
oh wow, it kept the pattern and this. So this is nice. You can do some cool stuff here. All right. So again, I'm styling the page using the second method, which is a style sheet sort of, or a style tag in the page itself. And I'm styling, so why is it doing it to the whole page here? Anybody know? What am I targeting?
The body.
That's right. And the body is pretty much the whole page, right?
Yes.
Wonder, do you think it would work with divs? Let's see. What if I want to target divs?
Target the sample buttons.
Let's see. Well, let's see what targets with the divs here. Oh,
Hey,
look at that.
it's on top of the background now.
Yes. Oh man, we could get crazy with the cheese whiz here. Yeah, look at that. So this is a div here, which is loaded on top of this thing, this background here, because of due to the styles.
Actually, I mean, the red is a bit much.
Well, yeah, the red is very, very much. But yes, so you guys can see that we're getting there. It's looking legit. And again, it all depends on how we. And on a different note, you see how we're using colors? We're typed like red, blue, and all these weird colors. Right? I did blue. There's two ways to define colors in HTML and CSS. One is with the actual name, and the other one is using hexadecimal.
Yeah, hexadecimal.
The way you do
You can
that,
also do other ways, but that's
oh,
complicated.
yeah, you could do RGB.
Saturation.
Yeah, you could do RGB. You could do like RGB, and then give it like 27171 and then 111 or something like that. But yes, yeah, there's different ways. Well, for now, the one I want you to remember is that you could also do it in hex. And hex is basically six characters or letters, and which represent a number. I guess this is blue.
Put up a color bar for you too.
I did, yeah, that is pretty crazy. I think it shows you the color here. Is it blue?
I don't remember seeing that. That was pretty cool.
Let me see. Ah, yellow. I guess this is yellow here. Yeah. Let's.
A little bit of blue thrown in there.
Let me see. So.
Green, my bad.
Let's see. F1. A, I guess. Let's see. Does this do anything? I don't know. Let's see what color this is.
It'll be slightly less green.
Let's see.
More green.
Look at that. Well, you guys wanna? If you guys don't know, if you're ever using for color, god damn it, sorry. Looking for certain colors, just look at the color chart, which is pretty sweet. Hex color chart. Look at this. It's pretty sweet. They have images out there. Look at that. They have really nice ones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you like this one, look at this. This is the whole hex chart. So they have a lot of nice ones. So 3333FF is blue. CC0099. Oh, let's see. CC0099. I guess that's some kind of purple or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
There it is. Look at that. Yeah, that hurts. But yes, you guys see how we can add kind of a selector and then add a cool I don't know, a cool style to it. Okay, are you guys good with that so far? So
So far.
yeah, so far, and we did this here, right? We did all of this here. Okay, now let's go on to the third. Number 3 is, well, what do you think the 3 is? The 3 is sort of the easiest one to understand pretty much. Okay, the 3 is the same as number 2, but in its own file.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes. So, all styles on a separate file. So all the styles will be on a separate file or a separate sheet or a style sheet. That is sort of why they call it cascading style sheets, because it's sort of meant for all these styles to be on a separate sheet that you can mess around with. And cascading means that it just happens from top to bottom and they're applied in one after the other. So they override each other. The latest one overrides the earlier one. Yeah. Yeah, so cascading style sheet CSS, all it is just a separate sheet that has the styles on it. Sort of like number 2, but on its own file. So before we finish, I know we're almost done, we're running over here, but before we go, let's do that. Okay, so don't get lost here. This is easy. Okay, scripts, fonts, content, etc., etc. In content, oh, okay. Do you guys see all this .css sheets?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to click on one. I'm going to call one site.css. I'm going to click on it. Oh. This is the sheet that our website uses. So this controls all the styles for our site. So it says, hey, body padding 50, padding bottom. So add some kind of padding or space to the body. That's what it says, right? Anything called body content with the class body content, padded. And so on and so on. This limits the size of things, etc., etc. Yeah. So this puts certain rules to the styles and sizes of things on our site. Let's see Bootstrap CSS. Okay. Well, Bootstrap, whenever you use Bootstrap, it says, hey, all the font is going to be sans serif on this page. Body, zero margin. And do a whole bunch of stuff, right? So this, don't get confused here, by the way. Do not. All this is just a whole bunch of rules and styles that you apply to a page. And it looks kind of confusing as fuck because they make it so, because they need to make it, well, they don't care how it looks really. They just want it to work. You know, well, strip and stuff like that, right? But again, the important thing is that you understand that this file controls CSS and styles for certain things. Okay, so do not worry about any of that. All that is crap. We don't really use it that much. But what we care about is we want to use our own CSS. We want an example of number 3. Let's create our own CSS page. Okay, and I am going to add it. So I'm going to go add, new item. Oh, do you see style sheet here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to add a style sheet and let's call it our style sheet. And you know what? I'm gonna rip off all these things like the styles we had here, right? I'm gonna take them off and I'm gonna put it on our style sheet. I want this background to be that color, and you know what? I want the background to be color to be red. Okay, so, and this is our style sheet, which contains styles. Okay, now, well, my question to you is this page using the style sheet right now?
No.
It is not. It is definitely not. So we need to kind of, you see this is in style. We need to include it on the page so that the page knows where it is, correct? Okay. We do that by using the beautiful, let me see, where is it? I think we need to put it up on top of the layout anyway, but screw it. All right, let's see if it works here. Okay, we do a link and we tell it, you see where it says this link is this style, is the style sheet. And let's give it, what's the name of our style sheet? Our style sheet, I think it's our, no, where is it? Is it content, right? And we call it our style sheet. All right. I mean, I don't know if this is working, if this is going to work, we'll see. But we are loading whatever our style sheet is, and this is a style sheet. And hopefully,
Work for the images.
it will affect it. Yeah. So let's see. Where is our web page here? Oh, I need to run it. I haven't run it. Let's run it. Let's check it out. Okay. Let's load it. Okay, so we're loading. Whoa!
Oh, bro.
Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
I see something.
No, well, barely. Yes.
Burning my eye.
Yeah. So where are these styles coming from?
This file.
The style sheet, right? That file.
Right.
Yeah. So that is where it's coming from. So yeah, so we're kind of using it, you know, cool styles here, right? You like that? That looks pretty sweet. That is business ready right there, if I ever saw it. Business ready right here. Okay. But so we have that. So you guys understand. So this usually what people do and sites do this, they use a separate style sheet to keep track of all the styles that you want. One reason you do that is because it's a centralized way to manage all the styles in a site. You don't want all the styles everywhere to be different, right? You want them. You want to have a centralized place at least as much as possible to mess around and change all your styles to affect your whole website or you know. And the more you do it, the more the better you get at it, and the more control you have. But this is a pretty good way to do this. Um, I think we're gonna stop here, or at least close, because I don't wanna. We're missing a certain part, or we haven't even gone what a CSS class is, but we will do that next time. All right. I will think of a good assignment for you guys, and we'll take it from there. All right. Is that cool? I know it's really late. It's almost 11, so I don't want to take away too much of your time. But we're gonna be done for now. Well, how are you guys from one to 10? How do you feel about um, how do you feel about CSS so far? In the three different ways.
Feeling good.
You guys feeling good about it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave. Okay, good. So I'm gonna set up. I'm a little bit behind on a few things here, but yeah, I'm gonna set up an assignment and catch up a little bit on things tomorrow and Wednesday. So I'll give you an assignment soon, tomorrow I think, and I'll let you guys know what's up. And I still need to update all these notes online. And then after I upload the videos and update the notes, then I will give you guys a cool assignment. I guess I can stop